Virgo rising. How you doing, Virgo? This is your reading for the Leo full moon that's happening on the 12th of February 2025. My name's Chloe. I work with card divination, astrology, and I channel multi-dimensional energies through my body, both in the form of physical and vocal light language. This brings in healing, attunement, and activation codes to the messages that are going to come through in this reading. Little bit of housekeeping first. Up until the end of the 12th of February, all personal readings are 50% off at the moment. The code is Luna50. I've put it in the description box. You can apply that at checkout through my website, or if you want to pay by PayPal, email me directly and we'll sort it out. Also, I've set up a second YouTube channel. These are shorter videos. They're not fixed in astrology. It's more channeling. I'm using lots of different decks. It's more transmissions. It's activations, big activations of the last one that I did was Pisces North Node, of how to bring in the most integrated and expansive intention of that transit. So really, I'm on camera as well. Did I mention that already? And they're a lot more fun and a lot more playful, and it's really cool. I really enjoy doing them. So if you feel so inclined to check that out, link is in the description box. Also, that video is linked into that channel is linked into this video. Words, what's going on with me? Right, my lovely Virgos. I read for the rising signs. So for those of you who don't have a Virgo in the first house, look to the house it does fall in. Look to the themes of that house, and you want to apply those themes along with all the other meaning you've got going on in Virgo to the messages that come through, because it'll be as if that Virgo energy, wherever it falls in your natal chart, has now energetically moved to the first house. So I'll give you an example. I've got Virgo in the second house. My sun is there. So I'd apply the themes of the second as well as the meaning of the sun to what comes through in this reading. And so, as I said, no matter where it falls, this will resonate. You just got to apply on your own natal chart meaning. As always, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. So, my lovely Virgos, this full moon is happening in your 12th house, your hidden house, your house of mysteries, right? This is the unconscious spaces, things going on behind the scenes, the unseen realms. Now, this can be, in those unconscious spaces, can be trauma responses, limiting beliefs, distorted love languages that then sort of bring about anxiety, grief, loss, depression, isolation, right? All of those sort of difficult energies that we face that sort of bumble around in the unconscious spaces. But underneath all of that is the magic of your soul. It's one of the cosmic jokes of the universe, that's why you see it in a lot of spiritual and book religion traditions, that the way through is in the stripping back of self in order to get back to your magic. It's very dreamy, it's very, things going within kind of energy. And so you got a full moon here. I'm a big fan of full moons in the 12th. Now, what it can do is, I was just wondering whether I was words. There's so much to say. I'm trying to keep this nice and short. Full moon in the 12th. This can help release a certain cycle of difficulties around mental health, anxiety, what does isolation mean to you, as well as amplify the magic of your soul and your intuitive connection to it. So before I crack on even more, because I want to break down what I'm doing here, I'm shuffling differently to how I normally do. For those of you, okay, alchemical process of releasing the Three of Swords to get into a greater balance with the Six of Cups in the 12th. So I'm shuffling at the moment. I usually shuffle for jumpers. But I'm going to go through all the astrology and I'm going to keep on shuffling. Lots of cards have been coming out for all of the signs, and the ones that call to me, that's kind of like the story, but I'm at the end of talking about the astrology. I'm going to cut the deck into 3 different piles and then pick cards from those 3 piles intuitively for the 3 piles that are going to go here. Now, the reason why I'm doing this and the reason why I'm telling people that I'm doing this is I'm trying new ways of connecting to all that is source, right? That it comes in every single form, everything that we do. I'm really trying to practice new ways of divination, new ways of connecting to source, and all of that are unfamiliar to me, that I'm seeing how it works. And this is something that you can do in your own life, right? So you've got a particular way that you connect to source, or the way that you do your own divination, your own intuition. I think with Jupiter going direct now, it's a really great time to play around with different modalities. Because it's building a level of trust that source, all that is, shows up in every area, which we can know in our minds, right? But we might not necessarily feel it or believe it. So anyway, the 3 piles, 2 cards. 4. So full moons mark completions. They mark a closing out of a particular part of a cycle. So pile 1 is going to be 2 cards. And the first card is going to be what shadow aspect, right, that you've been working on since the Leo new moon last year. What shadow aspect is coming to completion, right? Is sort of being closed out. And then the other card is what more integrated, expansive work that you've been doing. And obviously they're 2 sides of the same coin. What's being completed and therefore sort of ingrained in your being, right? What's being totally integrated. So that's going to be the 2 cards for pile 1. There's going to be 1 card for pile 2 of what's the download. So full moons, even though they're completions, they then bring in a download that we work with for the next 6 months. And that's going to take us up to the Leo new moon. So if you're watching this after the event, you're never missing out on any of the messages. So pile 2 is going to be the download that you're then working with. Pile 3 will have 1 card of how to work with it. We'll also get the card at the bottom and top of the deck at the end, representing the root and crown energy of the download. And also 2 oracle cards from 2 different decks right at the end of the reading. So back to the full moon over in the 12th. So releasing some unconscious responses. 8 of Cups in reverse, as I say that, right? And the 8 of Cups is, for me, all about making the awareness and walking away from unconscious responses to go and get the higher perspective. Coming up in reverse means you've done that, right? And that higher perspective has come in. You may find yourself spending time by yourself or going into retreat or deep meditation around this full moon. 5 of Pentacles in reverse with the 2 of Swords. So that withdrawal has allowed you to get out of a scarcity complex and understand a deeper inner balance within yourself. You've been putting in the work. You've been doing the practices. We got the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, i.e. closing out of that 7 of Pentacles. So, okay, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here. So full moon in the 12th, again, right? That sense of illumination of some old habits to be let go of, a deeper connection to your intuition, your emotional body, to nourish yourself as well. The moon represents how we give and receive nourishment, how we facilitate our needs and that of others. And so when we have a full moon in the 12th, it's really an upgrade in your capacity to facilitate your needs and nourish yourself with a heightened connection to the magic of your soul. So clearing out of some wounds, activating 7 of Cups, more magic. Now the sun is over in Aquarius, and that is in your 6th house of work, how you work, physical health, routines, co-workers, and therefore collaboration, pets, and therefore acts of service. So the sun has been there, the Mercury's there, Venus was there. We've had a strong focus in the Aquarius area. And the sun is shining illumination. It's bringing light, clarity, purpose, vision around you being the adult in the room, stepping up to your work, stepping up to your physical health, having the ideas, the being able to understand and process things and be able to follow that path, follow that light. as well as, you know, more of a focus on work, understanding how you work, being the adult in the room. For some of you, there may be an alignment around working better with other people. I find with the 6th house, the more you understand how you work, the more you have healthier relationships with others, because you're able to communicate that and therefore then work together better with others. So the sun and the moon working together, this is a real sense of, you know, I can see a real sense of achievement and understanding in the way that you work, and being the adult in the room that's soothing the balm of the unconscious responses in the 12th house, as well as the moon activating a high level of magic that the sun is picking up those clues, that vision, that clarity of being able to implement it. Now, Juno is over in Scorpio. Oh, that reminds me. I've done a collective reading. It's the first reading that always goes out where I've broken down the astrology of this moon in way more detail. I'm mostly predominantly talking about houses here. And I pulled cards for all of these different houses, all these different signs, because all 4 of the fixed signs are being activated. And really got into the weeds of what does that energy feel like? What does that represent? Because it then, how everything's talking to each other at the exact moment, forms a harmonic energetic download, a code that we're then all working with. So if you want a deeper understanding, pause this video, should have said it at the beginning, go watch that and come back, and that'll just give you a deeper understanding of what this moon's all about, especially with the 12th house moon. I think that's quite important. I mean, I think the collective, they're my favorite. I mean, not that I've got favorites, but they are my favorite. Juno, representing commitment, your ride or die. You're just there, you're standing firm and strong. It's kind of unshakable. It just is what it is, right? That Juno's in your 3rd house of how you find meaning in the day-to-day. It is the house of the goddess. It's learning new things. It's schools, it's siblings, short distance trips, your local community, your day-to-day, as well as the lens in which you communicate through. Now, Juno is helping you commit to your day-to-day, to the meaning, to the way that you communicate. And we've got the 3 of Wands with the Knight of Swords with that, of like the level of just showing up, the 3 of Wands, knowing you're doing the best that you can in any given moment, and putting that into practice with that sun over in Aquarius, right, with that Knight of Swords, of movement, of taking action from a place of confidence within yourself, right? Uranus is up in Taurus. They're all square each other. They're all opposing each other and all square each other. It's forming a grand fixed cross, which I'll talk about in a minute. Uranus is up in your 9th house of perspectives. Uranus has gone direct now. It happened just after the Aquarius new moon. Your perspectives, the house of the gods, your bigger picture ideas, your morals, your ethics, your philosophies, your connection to book, religion, source, nature, science, all of those matrices that are bigger than you, that you're figuring out, what do they mean to you? 3 of Cups came through with that one. What do they mean to you? What is your matrix that you're creating? I like that one. 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups, Virgo. So Uranus is the great liberator, the great path clearer. It wants you to be confident being unique, your unique frequency, and confident doing it, and not falling into the conditioning, both collective, social, and individual. So a real sense of unique ideas, unique perspectives that are taking you into the future, very galactic energy, very forward thinking, inventive energy, feeling quite liberated in your body, that's allowing you to integrate those perspectives at a higher level. Ace of Swords, as I say that. Opposite Juno, the commitment to communicate from the power of the truth and the resonance of Scorpio. Now, this is forming a grand fixed cross. All of these energies are making aspects to each other. They are squaring or opposite, right? And squares and oppositions are ruled by Mars and Saturn respectively. They are hard aspects, right? But they are about building in the 3D world. Four of Cups in reverse, no longer comparing yourself to the outside world, the full embodiment of your true frequency. So we can feel 10 of Wands in reverse. That's been showing up for everybody. We can feel like we're being pulled in lots of different directions when they're activated. They're almost all by degree, right? So it's very powerful. And so when that may feel like that, with work, with your perspectives, with how you communicate them, right, with how you find meaning, how you work with other people, the magic of your soul, the difficulties, the anxiety of all of this, right? If you're feeling pulled in lots of different directions, the trick with any cross, with any grand cross, Five of Pentacles again in reverse, is to get to the eye of the storm, get into the center of it all, and cleanse the energy. If you're feeling overstimulated, discombobulated, overwhelmed, breath work, meditation, whatever it is that you do as a practice for you that helps calm your body, calm your nervous system, right? Step into that even for a little moment and then see what pops up from all of these four houses and follow that, right? So if you get Uranus, go, hey, I want you to sort of get more in your body to help activate our higher perspective. Go that way. And the more that you practice that, because remember, this is imprinted for the next 6 months, the more you'll then naturally be in alignment with the weaving of these four houses together rather than all of them clamoring at you at the same time. Now, the sun rules Leo. So the sun is influencing what's going on with this moon. So the sun really wants you to put whatever's going on in the 12th into practice. Either to let go of any wounds around neglect so you can really be the adult in the room. Bring that magic in there. Bring that deep inner wisdom. Remember, Leo is your power up. Into the way that you work. Now, Saturn traditionally rules Aquarius, which is what I work with, and Saturn is therefore influencing the sun, which is therefore influencing the moon. Saturn's over in Pisces, your 7th house opposite you. Virgo, if you haven't caught the Virgo South Node, North Node Pisces transit series, it's in its own playlist. It's really easy to find. I cannot recommend it enough. I miss doing that transit. That was one of the most favorite transits that I've done. That Four of Cups in reverse again. I loved it so much. And what came through with that is going to serve us. My whole reality is dissolving because of this transit. In the best possible way. Anyway, back to Saturn in Pisces. Now, 7th house is the house of the other. Opposite your 1st house, the house of self. Now, the other is one-on-one important relationships in your life. Be that a business partner, clients, right? Intimate friends, long-term committed romantic relationships, as well as your relationship with Source. Now, Saturn is in there, getting you right with your own authority. So often the other can distort our authority. And Saturn's job in the 7th is to get right with that. Often by the other, like showing up quite loudly. Trying to control. But aside from that, Saturn being in the 7th, influencing the sun. As I said, the 6th house, the more you understand how you work, the more you have healthier relationships, right? Because you're able to communicate how you work and not be completely oblivious and go into relationships all confused. So Saturn's influencing that. Saturn wants you to get mature, responsible. It wants you to connect to your legacy energy when it comes to interacting one-on-one with people. And so it's influencing the sun, saying, hey, let's get an alignment, 5 of Cups in reverse, with, you may have been going through a lot of grief with Saturn in Pisces around old relationships. Get an alignment with where you're headed, right? Of collaboration that isn't going to mess up your mental health. Saturn is also bringing in some hardcore messages from Source, right? Of how you commit to yourself and be the adult in the room. Saturn is very much the adult in the room, right? And so that's really the downloads from Source, the alignment from Source of being strong in your magic, strong in your power. Also very empathetic and compassionate. We've got the star cards show up, right, of being uniquely yourself, not losing yourself in the other, but also establishing like really strong connections that you're able to put into practice and work well. Strong downloads from Source to the sun. Aquarius, which we just got with the star card, the vision and the clarity that's then infused into your unconscious realms, the Alamadia, and that's powerful. That feels like a big activation. Jupiter rules Pisces traditionally, and Jupiter's over in Gemini, so this is linked into your life purpose, your career, your visibility, your reputation. Jupiter has also gone direct. So there's a real influence of getting an alignment with your life path when it comes to the other, whether it's source, business partner, collaboration, romantic relationship can also be a life path. But they want it to work, and they want it to not mess up and be based on distorted unconscious responses to destroy your mental health. They want it to be part of the magic of your soul. Because Mercury rules Gemini, and Mercury is over in the 6th house of let's make this work. Let's not let it disgrace your physical health. I think my particular affrontness is coming through of the amount of relationships that I know people that are in who, before they got in that relationship, they looked after their health, they were committed to their work, they were really in their power. And then they get involved with somebody and all of that goes out the window, and I'm just there sobbing in a corner going, death card, 2 of Swords, letting go of that, getting into the new frequency. Right, 1, 2, death card and the 2 of Swords again just came flying out. 3, 10 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Pentacles again in reverse with Justice. Right, I'm going to shuffle again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's roll. Diala. Okay, Diali Motoela. Wait, no, that needed to, maybe bonus card. Itanama Oto Dishana Duela Dianima Otoela. You got bonus card. Itanima Oto Finima. Okay, so right, we had Dinah, Dishinia, Diala Ma Otoela. Diala. Right, so we've got for what is being closed out. What difficulty, what shadow aspect that you've been working on over since the Leo new moon is now coming to a close. And we got the 5 of Wands. This is drama, low-level conflict, frustration, lots of movement, but not necessarily anything manifesting, right? So there's procrastination, there's friction, there's just this low level like wise competition, frustration, and this is all in the 12th house, and this can be very relevant in terms of like all those unconscious responses doing battle with each other, right? And it's meant that perhaps certain things outwardly in your life haven't manifested. So this is letting go of conflict, letting go of as I said, there's movement, but there's no momentum. So there's a real clarity coming in. There's no longer this sort of procrastination, frustration, conflict energy, because you've come to a higher level of understanding of what's going on, the difficulties of the 12th, right? And perhaps being able to step away from this drama and understand the wisdom of it and then release it and work through it. All right. And this would have been creating blockages of you bringing the magic of your soul into the 3D world. So that's being closed out. Now you got a bonus card for what is being the sort of the more integrated energy that you've been doing. Obviously they're 2 sides of the same coin. What's being like imprinted into you, right? It's not that you're then working with this. Obviously we're always working with everything all the time, but this is more solidly in your vessel. We got that 5 of Cups that came out. Pretty sure that came out, and the moon. So a release around grief, and 12th house is all about grief, right? That sadness. The 3 of Cups is no more. Remember, you got that 3 of Cups with Uranus in your perspective. This is a heaviness. This is a stagnation. These are 2 5s here, right? Of being in that deep pain of existence, right? This is, you're working through this, and the moon's come in, this Pisces energy. So it may be related to your connection to source, important relationships in your life, of letting go of a lot of that pain. But the moon is very psychic. It is the kind of the unconscious spaces, right? And so you're activating a higher level of your magic, of your soul here, and it is an evolutionary process. You've gone through certain stages that's come into a level of completion of trusting in the unseen spaces, trusting in your intuition. Itala, really allowing that that softness, that surrender of the unconscious realms, to evolve and grow and come into its heightened peak with that full moon there. Because you've cleared that grief, because you've cleared the discombobulation. Right, okay. What is the download that's coming in with this full moon? Itala, the Shanima that you're then working with over the next 6 months. We have the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, and this actually showed up while I was doing all the shuffling, and I really love this because the Seven of Pentacles is kind of like the beginner energy, right? It's got out of a sense of scarcity and it's now planting seeds and tending to them daily and being very mindful. If you've ever grown vegetables, when you first plant a seed, you genuinely can't get your head around how that can turn into a pumpkin, right? But you've got to really pay attention because they're very delicate. You've got to really love and care for them. But there is a restlessness with this card because they're like, oh, is anything going to manifest yet, right? But it is about doing the groundwork. It's about doing the prep work. I associate this also with the Knight of Pentacles, but it's in reverse. So it's saying you're safe in that 12th house, right? Those seeds those little shoots have grown. Right? You don't need to be so on guard, on watch around the trigger responses, the trauma responses. You don't need to be scared about that magic of your soul like shriveling up and disappearing. If we tie it into all the other themes as well of the way that you work, right, of being the adult in the room, of those perspectives in the way that you communicate, all of those are linked into this card of you're stepping out of the sort of the apprenticeship of coming into yourself. You're truly into yourself. You're not doing that anymore. This is now a solid energy of you're confident in what you've started and now you're just building on it with such a level of strong connection to your intuition, right, rather than the control of it all. So how to work with this energy? Don't forget, we will get the bottom and the top of the card for the root and the crown. Seven of Swords, so another 7. Love this. This is in fact an Aquarius card. So this is about thinking differently. This figure is stealing away the 5 of Swords, which for me is the most difficult card in tarot. So that's kind of representing 3 5s showing up in your reading. The 5 of Swords is about the bully victim cycle, right? The domination, subjugation of it all, the grief of it all. It's for me the most difficult card because it's very easy to stay in that space, right? The bully in the mind. And this card is saying, hey, let's think differently, right? Let's try new things. Let's experiment. Now that you're feeling stable, right? And this is coming in, you're able to then go to the next level. And it's left with the 2 of Swords, which showed up quite a lot when I was shuffling, right? Of this sense of inner balance, inner equilibrium, that you're in this new realm, right? You're no longer doing the prep work for it. You're now in the new realm, in your unconscious spaces. And there's a reconfiguring around the stories. And you're coming into this awareness of you are no longer being governed by the old stories that have distorted and brought about these 5s. This is powerful. So yeah, try and stay out of conflict. Try and go into a state of neutrality, a state of balance, whatever's going on in your life, right? Whatever's showing up. It's not about not having emotional responses. Regulars, I've been banging on about this so much. It's about acceptance. And so you're out of conflict. 5s are about conflict. You're out of conflict. Even if you're like, this is a shit situation. Go to that state of neutrality. Get out of the conflict, get out of the bully victim mentality. And then when that happens, it frees up so much energy for you to engage with any given situation from this place of, let's try this out, let's play. And that's when the new inspirations and ideas are coming through. Oh God, I forgot what was there, and that's so in alignment with what I just said. So at the root energy of the download, the Ace of Swords, that also winked out in the reading. Again, what I was saying, that there's a renewal and a clarity of your own sovereignty from a higher perspective. The ideas that are coming through are at the next level. They're not the prep work. It's not the putting in the daily habit, the daily practice. This is now a renewal of energy, and it's air. So it's Aquarius. So it's your capacity to bring that magic into the 3D, into the way that you work. Itala di Shanima at the crown. The Nine of Swords in reverse. So this is the epitome of some of the difficult energies of the 12th. Anxiety, depression, right? Regret about the past, worry about the future, not being able to get present, overactive mind, overactive pain, perspectives that distort, those unconscious perspectives that have us in a worry state. So you're really getting out of your own head. You're not in that worry and that fear. As I said, that Seven of Pentacles feels very in reverse, feels very stable and grounded. When these things do show up, you're redirecting very quickly back to that solidity, back to this upgrade of your intuition, of trusting in the process, rather than getting out of being in the present moment. Okay, so the oracle cards decks that I'm using, I really felt very called to use the Carl Gray Gateway of Light activation deck, because this 4 fixed sign energy, and then nearly all by degree exactly aspecting each other, feels like a massive portal. In the oracle cards, which I always pull before doing any transit, it's always the last reading I do, the energy this feels like the work that we've done, and the energy here is like, whoa, like really clear, really crisp, high vibrational frequency that we're all stepping into. So what portal are you activating, my lovely Virgos? We have, let me find it first. Oh no, not that one, it looks very familiar. Cinema Ananukai light codes. I don't remember the last time this card showed up. Energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. All those fives, that 5 of Pentacles wanted to come out so many times. The Ananukai are a race of cosmic light beings who have been coming to Earth since ancient times. The Sumerians and the Babylonians acknowledged them as the deities who govern the space between the worlds. The divine leader of this incredible race is the goddess Ishtar, a powerful figure similar to the Egyptian goddess Isis. The Ananukai have taken many forms throughout the ages. They have an angelic, warrior-like quality and have appeared with wings, sometimes up to 4, and with an elongated head and face similar to that of an eagle. When the Ananukai appear, it's important to know that they are heavenly allies, supporting the heat of our healing and ascension. Remember, we got the Jupiter card, the Pluto card of judgment. In the distant past, they visited the Atlantean civilization and helped those who were aligned with the spiritual path to ascend to the next dimension, so that they could leave the wheel of karma. They acted as divine judges, deciding who could ascend and who had to be left behind for the growth of their soul. Those who had abused their power and had not honoured the divine or valued the great gift of life that they have been given had to remain for the cataclysm ending of the civilization. For that reason, some people who have the Atlantean incarnations may fear the Ananukai, but be assured that they are beings of infinite light working for Source. Great change is coming to you. But this can only occur if you're willing to shift your perspective. Lol. You may be experiencing resistance to change, but please know this is simply a fear of the new, not intuition. If you are wondering what is the best course of action, the Ananukai are encouraging you to go with, my third eye's throbbing, go with the new. Old systems, old ways of being, and old ways of doing things must be released if you are to evolve. Change can bring a sense of vulnerability, but it will allow you to make a deeper connection to your feelings, gifts, and what is important to you. You are standing at a gateway of pure potential that will be ignited as soon as you move through the necessary change. Be open to new information, new processes, and new ideas. You are part of the new energy upon the earth. Well, that's pretty powerful, Virgo, and genuinely kind of really bringing all those 5s and the new perspective into an alignment. I want you to remember that Seven of Pentacles in reverse. That's unfolding over the next 6 months. So it kind of makes sense that you might feel a bit disorientated because all the fives that kind of stagger up before that, of all the shifts that are going on, all the changes that are going on. And yeah, be really open to the new ways of being, right? When we do some hardcore work in the 12th, because it's the unconscious responses, remember that 8 of Cups came up in reverse. It genuinely radically changes who you think you are. So much of who we think we are is conditioning. And you've got some very powerful light codes coming in that's allowing this ascension process. And the changeover, the changing of the guards. I just heard that different guides are going to be coming in now that you're shifting into this space. Oh, they're really wanting me to do a bit more chanting at the moment. Connection is the only game. Put the pieces of the puzzle together. Instead of worrying about the million things that need to get done, focus on the one common thread between them, your ability to make things happen. So rather than getting overwhelmed, right, go back to your frequency, go back to yourself, right? This feels like the 6th house energy, as well as all the connections going on in the 12th that new guides are able to come through now because you've cleared so much space. That it's establishing a deeper connection with you and source and bringing it, you know, say that overwhelm of the 6th, of the productivity, of the go. Step back into your frequency and be able to take that what did it say again? There was something that really jogged my brain. Your ability to make things happen rather than the how, the why, or the when. Just focus on that ability of bringing things together. Right, we're going to very quickly cut the deck to see. Goodness me, the same cards are kind of showing up for everybody. So cut the deck to see where I'd put this back, right? This is what I've wanted to do for a while now. Akashic records, clearing of old stories, releasing past lives, freedom. And at the bottom of the deck, we have sacred inner space, sacral chakra, tenderness, sensuality. You know, the 12th house of deep healing, deep love, the lotus being open, and your ability to connect to that tenderness within you, the love of self, right? That our unconscious spaces can struggle with. Also, sacral chakra, big creative energy, right? So get creative, right? What does the Rainbow Brainskull want to say? Jumping is scary, staying frozen is scarier. Push yourself into new spaces. Obviously, trust in the process and know your intuition will tell you whether, oh no, that's a bit too much. Right, enjoy playing in different energies. Be really open. Right, my lovely Virgos, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, hit that like button. Leave me a comment. I love to hear from you. Honestly, it brings me so much joy. Remember, 50% off all private readings at the moment. Code Luna50 in the description box. Virgo, how you doing with the South Node in your sign? I mean, I've got my sun there. Virgo, forgot to keep wanting to talk about this. Here in the UK, so apply the time frame to wherever you're at. Between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. is when the ascendant's in Virgo. I've been getting some wild downloads during that process, during that time frame. So you might want to figure out when that's happening for you and then maybe do a little meditation, particularly towards the 9 p.m. because that's when it goes on at the beginning, at the end of it, actually, when it enters Virgo, and then when it's at the end, big downloads. You might want to put that into practice. Right, I'm going to go. Virgo, be good to yourselves, be good to those around you, safe travels, and be well until we meet again.